Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a day in the life of a pharmacy student on her AmCare Appy rotations. Well, it's going to be more like a couple of days in the life since I have a weekly schedule for this rotation. But today is Monday. I woke up at 4:30 and I did some work. I worked on finalizing my in-service that I will be presenting later today. Around 5:45 in the morning, I made some breakfast. And today I decided to have a couple of pancakes. I try to alternate what I eat in the morning so that I don't get bored. And while the pancakes were cooking, I washed and cut a plum and an apple. I ate the plum with my breakfast and prepared the apple for my lunch. Then I got dressed in my scrubs and packed the remainder of my lunch. Today, I just packed some leftover pasta that I had from dinner the previous night, the apples I cut up, and a pack of fruit snacks. Then I leave my apartment around 6:30 so that I can get to my site just before 7. My clinic today starts at 8:30, but I always like to show up early so that I can work up my patients. If you saw my last day in the life video, you saw my wonderful simulation I did, and here I am doing it again. So I go to this clinic every Monday and Thursday, and it covers a variety of disease states primary care doctors refer to us for, but we do mainly work with diabetes and hypertension patients. After working up my patients in the morning, I meet with my preceptor at around 8:30 in the morning. I present the first patient to him and we call them shortly after. We have around 5 to 6 patients on a typical day, so I end up calling about half of them, though I do work up and present every one of them. During these calls, I go over the reason of the call, discuss their medications with them, and ensure that they're taking them correctly, assess clinical labs, and gather relevant at-home labs from them, and then I'll go over the plan with the patient. For the plan part, I cannot do that without talking to the pharmacist, so I briefly explain that I'll put the patient on hold if that's okay with them, so that I can discuss my thoughts with the pharmacist. Then I go over my plan with the patient. After the phone call, I have to write a note for the patient in their electronic medical record, explaining what we did and why. After I finish, I forward the note to my preceptor, and then he double-checks it and signs it off. After a couple of the morning patients, we have a break for lunch around noon. We then do the same thing for the afternoon patients. Something unique about today, though, is that I had an in-service presentation. So I presented my background slides and journal club write-up to 15 pharmacists via an online platform, starting at 3 p.m. Clinic typically ends at 4:30 p.m., but I actually did get out a little bit early today since we had no patients after my in-service. Then I go ahead and drive home. I had some packages to pick up today, so I did that on my way to my room, and then I checked my emails for a bit before dinner. Today for dinner, I had some tteokbokki that my aunt made for me, and then a nougat bar for dessert. I then took a shower and worked on a journal club that we needed to attend the next day. Around 9:30 p.m. is about when I go to bed and I prepare for the next day, just so that I ensure I get around 6 hours of sleep. So actually for this day, I woke up on my own just a couple of minutes before my alarm set at 4 a.m. today. Then I worked on a final project presentation that I'll be giving the following week, which is actually my final week of the rotation. And if you're watching this when it's uploading, it's this coming week right now. Around 5:45 in the morning, I again made some breakfast, which consisted of tater tots and scrambled eggs today. While cooking breakfast, I multitasked and made my lunch as well. I decided to cook and pack some spinach and cheese pasta for my lunch today. I just went ahead and ate my breakfast while I was cooking lunch too, just to save some time. And I also cut up a plum to have on the side with my lunch as well. Then I packed my lunch, got dressed, filled up my water, and left for clinic around 6:30 so that I could once again get there around 7 in the morning. Today's clinic starts at 8 a.m. actually, and is focused specifically on cholesterol. Patients that get referred to us are typically intolerant to many lipid-lowering therapies, especially statins. So I work on my patients in the morning and then I present them all to the pharmacist when they're ready. Today was a little bit different, however, because we had a journal club to attend during lunch. So I ate my lunch and then listened in on the journal club presentation. After journal club ended at 1 p.m., then I presented my patients to the pharmacist. Today, I only had 2 patients, but they do take a while to work up and figure out an appropriate plan for, since they're typically intolerant to many of the medication options. After presenting, I then called both patients and discussed therapeutic options for them based on their cholesterol lab panel. Similarly to yesterday's clinic, I then write notes for these patients and forward them to the pharmacist. After clinic ends at 4, I had a meeting with my preceptor and student colleagues concerning our final project presentation. Then we had didactics right after that. We have didactics every Tuesday after clinic where we take a quiz, go over the answers, and discuss a patient case. Today, I was the student presenting the patient case, and mine was on heart failure. Didactics end around 6 p.m., and then I went back to the student lounge to preview my patients for tomorrow's clinic for about half an hour. On my Wednesday and Friday clinic days, I cannot go in early to work up patients since it's at a smaller clinic location. So I left the clinic site around 6:30 p.m., but my tires are unfortunately low on pressure, so I had to pump them up today. It took about 30 minutes, and I was just in the parking lot of my clinic doing that, and it was kind of dark, but yeah, I didn't get to leave until 7 p.m. today, which is definitely later than usual. But then I got home and made myself some dinner really quickly since I was so hungry. I just had some instant seaweed soup and cucumber kimchi today. Basically, I just wanted the fastest thing that I could make. It was a very long day today, so I rewarded myself with some TV while eating my dinner. I then took a shower, made sure to charge my tire pump, and went to bed around 9:20 that day since I was so tired. It was a very long day. And then good morning, and welcome to my third and final type of day. So this is what my Wednesday and Fridays look like. I woke up at 4 a.m. again, and I worked on another journal club that I need to write up for this preceptor. I'm able to work longer on things these mornings since clinic starts at 8:30, and I can't get there early to work up patients, so that's why I stayed behind the previous day. So I start making breakfast around 6:30 a.m., and today I had a bagel with cream cheese and a yogurt. I also cooked some frozen pasta that I brought with me for my lunch today. I got dressed, packed my lunch, and left the apartment around 7 a.m. since it takes longer to get to this site and traffic can be very unpredictable. I got there just shy of 8 in the morning today, but I sit in the car and I do some work until it's time to go in and start clinic at 8:30. I won't go in depth here about what I do because it's very similar to the Monday-Thursday clinic, but just at a different location with a different preceptor. I take my lunch around noon, and then I just continue with afternoon patients until clinic ends at 4:30. And like I said, I can't stay longer at this location to work up tomorrow's patients, so then I just come in early the next day to work them up. On the way home today, I needed to fill up my gas and get a car wash. My car was kind of dirty, but then it got really bad when it rained a little bit in the morning on the way to work, and the dirt just spread everywhere. So I got that done, and I made it home and ordered some DoorDash today since I was so tired and I was really craving chicken katsu. I then had a Malona bar for dessert, and I attended a Zoom event that evening. Afterwards, I took a shower, did some work, and prepared for the next day as per usual. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!